It's Saturday night. Welcome to the Jonathan Ross Show. Well, the wait is over. 007 is back on the big screen. James Bond in Skyfall. Are you excited? I'm excited. At the premiere, Daniel Craig showed up on the red carpet not looking his best. Anyone see these pictures? There he was, look. He was suffering from the one enemy that even he can't beat, man flu. He had to be virtually carried into the cinema, but luckily, Q sorted him out with a quantum of Lemsip. So he's feeling... Dame Judi Dench was there as well, of course. We all love Dame Judi. She turned up for the premiere with this on her neck. She's got that on her neck there, 007 there. Now, that's a cautionary tale, my friends. That's a warning of what could happen if you go to a short-sighted vajazzalist. Well, thank you. Do you guys know what the vajazzle is, or have you been out of the country? Because you're touring all the time. Do you know what a vajazzle is?
I've heard of it, yeah.
You, of course, it's always the drummer, isn't it? Britain has a new tennis star, ladies and gentlemen. He's moving up in the world rankings, and I have to be very careful when I say that. Let's have a look at him. Elton John, nicknamed Racket Man. I can't tell you, is that AstroTurf? Not the court on his hair. Is that AstroTurf? That's a great picture, though. Oh, I think I prefer the one they took of Elton later in the day when the game got more relaxed. So you see, it was... Muse deliberately not looking at that in case they go blind. Now, in recent times, we've seen many talented dogs, of course. We all have a talented dog. Dogs that can dance, dogs that can act in Oscar-winning movies. But for me, nothing beats a dog that can sing, especially when it does the hits of Gwen Stefani. Look at this. Never mind you guys, that's the greatest live act in the world right there. Hey, how excited are you? I'm so thrilled. We've got them right here. If you've never seen them live, this is going to be a treat for you. The fabulous Muse, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. Stick around. A whole song live at the end of the show. It's going to be great. Let's see who else is on the programme tonight. My first guest is quite simply a global superstar. It is Kylie Minogue, OBE. There she is. Let's go. Kylie, you look fabulous, of course.
Thank you.
You look as great as you did when you first shot to fame. What is the secret of your eternal youth and beauty, Kylie?
I sleep hanging upside down.
Kylie Minogue, ladies and gentlemen, she'll be out here, and we have a special treat for you as well this evening from Kylie, so... Next up, we have one of the best young comedians in the country. It's Mr. Russell Howard. Russell. So, Russell, can I just check something before we get you... Is it true you have 40 cousins?
I do, yes.
40 cousins?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, eh?
That's so West Country.
Oh, no, yeah, we all live in a big shoe.
Russell Howard, ladies and gentlemen, he has his own BBC Three show at the moment, Russell Howard's Good News, and he's that rarest of things on BBC television. He's a TV star with blonde hair that you feel safe to watch. Wow, you've gone off Claire Balding. My next guest is Britain's best-known TV adventurer. He is the magnificent Bear Grylls. There's Bear. There's Bear, what a soul. Great to have you here, Bear.
Thank you. Very nice to see you again.
Thank you, God bless you. Bear and I have so much in common, don't we, Bear?
We do, yeah. We talk training regimes and
right.
survival techniques.
Both survivors, both sex symbols. We both faced, of course, also... I thought if I said it quickly, you wouldn't notice. And we've both faced the ultimate test of courage and daring, an appearance on Loose Women.
Well done. Did you survive that?
Yeah, you faced down a MacGiffin in her natural habitat. It was incredible. OK, before we get on with that, I've got to show you this, because I saw this news story, and, you know, I'm a very big animal lover, and I saw this story, and it just really touched me, and I wanted to show this clip that we tracked down, because a white whale called Knock has been recorded making noises that sound as if he's trying to talk to humans. They think he's picked up some words from the human divers that have been down there, and it was recorded by those divers. Take a listen to this. Maybe it's not as impressive as the build-up I gave it. But I think it is remarkable, and the good news for the whale is that Louis Walsh has put him through to the next round of X Factor. So he's one happy undersea mammal. Is he a mammal? They're mammals, aren't they? Whales. But the word they think the whale is trying to say is out. They think he's saying out. Let's have a listen, see if you can hear that. So that was... We've cut off the other... Obviously, he was saying other words, but that was the one they think he was saying. But I listened to it. I've listened to it a few times, and I think he was saying a few more words. I think you can also hear head, and I think also you can hear get you, and maybe even can't. So let's have a look at that together. I think he's been listening to Kylie. Oh, amazing. Shall we get our first guest out, ladies and gentlemen? You know, there are some superstars so famous you only know them by the one name. Madonna, Prince, Jedward, and... two. And leading the pack, it's Kylie. Here she is. Lovely to see you again. Come sit down. Kylie Minogue. Wow. Kylie, you look spectacular. What a lovely frock you have on this evening.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, shoe alert. They're on it already.
Wow.
Well,
wow.
yes.
They are the Laboutins. Laboutins? Labouchans.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're very lovely. Congratulations. I couldn't believe it when I read this, but 25 years in music now.
I know. I think I've known you nearly that long.
What do you think for you, if you look back? I know it's a big question, but what have the highlights of that 25 years been?
Oh, God. Firstly, getting a record deal. I mean, I was on Neighbours, as you know. So, yeah, Locomotion being a hit, which led to so many other things. Maybe performing at the Olympics.
Of course, yeah, must have been incredible.
Yeah.
So, you've got a new album to mark this 25 years, I guess. I don't know whether it was... It's kind of a greatest hits, but it's a very different one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's... I think it's just timely that it's happened in my 25th anniversary. It's a greatest hits, but all the songs were recorded at Abbey Road.
So it's called the Abbey Road Sessions.
Yeah. Genius. Marketing genius. And it's reinterpretations of a bunch of hits, either orchestral or very simple acoustic with a piano or guitar.
So you're going back over your career, and have you done kind of like, you know, all the big hits? Because some of them you would think, even though they were great fun at the time, and Locomotion was great fun, you'd think, is that something you still want to do now? Is that something... Because some of them were a little cheesy.
Yes. Actually, some of the really cheesy ones are the best ones
When
now.
you do them differently.
Yeah, like, I Should Be So Lucky, we all, you know... Yeah. I tried to escape I Should Be So Lucky for a...
so lucky, 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 lucky.
Well, yeah. Now it's, the lyrics are actually really kind of sad.
So which part?
When it's slowed down and done...
Remind me of the lyrics apart from I should be so lucky, lucky, lucky.
None of the others matter, no. You know, does that mean I need to sing a little bit?
Well,
no.
I don't even want to do
Well... No, actually, it's just... In my imagination, there is no complication. I dream it, Jonathan. That bit was silent. I've added that in. Jonathan, I dream about you all the time. Wow. In my mind, a celebration, the sweetest of sensation, thinking...
Jesus Christ, I've got to go in.
You could be mine.
Don't do that to a man of my age and lean in at the same time. That's as good as a written invitation. Well, you know, you said, would you sing a bit? But because I realise it's a kind of pared-down thing, so you don't need the big production. You're not doing the dancers. And we said, Kylie, would you mind, even though we have news on this evening, would you mind doing a little performance? And you kindly said...
Just going to do a little tiny tad in a little bit, yeah.
So we will have a performance from Kylie on the show this evening. What song are you going to do?
I'm going to sing a little bit of Never Too Late, which is a really good example of showing how a song that we thought was just a happy pop song...
A big dancey song.
...translated is actually very touching.
Well, let's have a look at a clip, because this is, you look, as I said, stunning, and this is a great montage of some of the songs from the Abbey Road Sessions that have been put together. Look at this. sounds great. And I love that version of I Should Be So Lucky. That sounds really, it's like a really kind of a classic old talk song now.
Yeah.
That's out on Monday. I'm looking forward to that. And you are going to perform later on, as we said. Let me ask you about home life, love life, and that kind of thing, because you've been with this young man you're with for some time now. Mm-hmm. How many years now?
4 years.
Is it Andreas or just Andres?
Sound the alarm, 4 years.
Wow.
I think it's a record.
And I think it shows you in a good light you've gone for such an unattractive young man as well.
He doesn't roll out of bed looking like that.
Oh, I bet he rolls out of bed looking better than I do, though. I'm sorry. You met him on an advert, didn't you? Is that right?
Yeah, we were working together. He was in his underpants.
Good Lord.
It was a terrible, tough day at work. I think I was standing on a box next to him for that particular shot. Which I could still do with these days. Yeah.
Was that just so you weren't groin height and you were only looking at that?
Yeah, that's okay now.
Still a great start to the day.
First day meeting was maybe a bit much.
But he is a Spanish gentleman.
Yep.
You are an Australian lady, although we've kind of adopted you and like to claim you as our own. Have you learned Spanish? Have you mastered the Spanish tongue?
No. Jonathan. Stop it.
Not even un poco?
Sí, un poco.
Wow, okay,
yeah.
okay. You must have a few phrases. If you're angry with him, do you use a kind of Spanish angry word? Have you learned that kind of thing?
I don't, but when he's watching football, because I am, with that settled, he'll watch the football and I'm around and I shouldn't even say it because I don't really know what it is, but I'm sure it's not a good word to say in Spanish. I just think he's going, oh, God. But it's like, joder. I don't know if anyone speaks Spanish and I don't know what that means.
I think we do have some Spanish people in this evening.
And some others, I do know what they mean, but I wouldn't say those.
So the one was jovers.
Joder.
What does jovers mean?
Oh, is
okay,
it? Oh, great. Great.
But I can't actually genuinely. I mean, and you have this reputation. You are very, you seem very sweet-natured, and I know you go out your way. Even when the paparazzi are driving you crazy, you always seem to smile. You seem to have got that under control. You seem very good-natured. Do you get grumpy much at home? Is he the guy who kind of sees that side of you?
Is there not a woman sitting in front of you? Do I get girls? Even if you are the sweetest person on earth, yeah, you get grumpy.
What is it that makes you grumpy, Kylie?
Running late.
I've only seen smiley Kylie. What does grumpy Kylie look like? Can I see a grumpy Kylie face? Imagine we're leaving, we're going out somewhere together, because it could still happen, and if you work on me, and I've kept you waiting, and you're late, and you know you're going to be late, and people are going to think it's you. They're going to think it's Kylie's fault.
Okay, hang on. Let me just forget I'm here.
Forget you're here.
Sorry, I'll just erase that.
Genuinely,
it's quite strong, isn't
my hairs went up the back of my neck and I got cold. I really did for a second. It was terrifying. Congratulations. Can we talk about your backside, Kylie? Would that be okay?
Let me just ask it, because it's got its own PR team these days. Well, hang on. Yes.
I like the way you communicate with yourself. Because it is. When we think of Kylie, obviously we think of Kylie, and then we think maybe of Neighbours, and we think of the great pop hits, but then we do think of tiny micro shorts. It's a kind of an iconic
I don't know how it happened.
How did it happen? What happened?
Okay, so yes, I put in gold hot pants, but really, I didn't know that it would kind of...
They would take off.
Yes.
So to speak.
Yeah.
And because recently there was... Did you see this? And this was not what it first appears to be. There was an advert. It looked like it was an advert, but it wasn't an advert. Is that right?
It was a satirical look at advertising, yes.
And who was behind this?
A girlfriend of mine, Catherine Jebb, who's this great artist, got together some amazing women, Tilda Swinton, for one, and they've all done different ads.
So they're fake adverts, looking at different aspects
Looking at the beauty industry predominantly, yeah.
And what is your advert? What is that? What aspect of the beauty industry is this skewering?
Well, this is insurance for your beautiful body.
Okay, so that's the idea of that. Well, we have the advert that was filmed. I don't think it's been seen over here. Here's a treat.
It's never been seen on TV, I don't think so.
Well, this is the first then, and if you're not recording already, press record now. Here we go.
fully covered. Protect and cover the things that are most dear to you.
I'm really glad my parents don't live in this country. But it's a great project, and to be with these other women, it was fun.
I'd like to see the rest of the films. You know, just in case you're wondering, I'm still in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I know the boys are in pretty good shape. You didn't ask, but I thought you might like to see how our cleavage is holding up. So we posed for this photograph earlier on. Check this out, and you'll see. That's,
oh, yes!
Still got it.
Hot stuff.
Still got it. As Kylie said, she is going to perform for us a bit later on. We're going to give her a little break now, and then we're going to have you out here. But at the end of the show, we have Bear Grylls on, and he said to me, and he said, I'd love to come on, I want to show you something, I want to teach you guys some sort of survival skills. And I said, that would be fun, that would be lovely, because Bear does it. Would you care to join in at the end of the programme?
I need skills, yes.
I think it's going to be some sort of a hunting challenge. Is that right, Bear?
It is, yeah. You always got to know how to get food if you're without food. So, yes, you're going to learn some skills that might one day save your life.
Well, that's great. So we'll see you perform in a minute, and we'll see you at the end of the show.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Kylie Minogue. So don't go away, because after the break, I'll be joined by comedian Russell Howard. We've got music from Kylie, Muse and Bear Grylls still to come. See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Let's get our next guest out, ladies and gentlemen. He is a brilliant young comedian. Will you please welcome Mr. Russell Howard? So Russell, Russell just gave me an unusual handshake.
Yeah, I have to go lefty.
Why do you have to go lefty?
Because I've hurt my thumb.
Thank you. Does sound a bit like a big baby.
Yeah, well, it was about a month ago, and I cut my thumb, and I got the tendon infected.
Oh.
And I nearly lost my thumb.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what?
That was a different response to my family, who just laughed their arse off. Right? My brother sent me a big foam hand when I was in hospital.
Well, that's not the most sympathetic thing you could do.
Not in any way. But
so there was a serious chance you could have had your thumb off.
yeah, the doctor said that, you know, he said we'll do our best, and I think we'll be able to save your thumb.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, please save it.
And you're right-handed, of course, so that would have meant you wouldn't be able to grip things in quite the same way.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
That was what my dad said as well.
Did he think that? Although in other ways it would have felt like a whole new start, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like one door closes, another one opens. But you're in the clear now.
I am. Yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay. Now you mentioned your dad and you mentioned your brother, and I know from our past meetings that you kind of get quite a lot of material from your family, don't you?
Yes. Well, they're very funny.
And they don't mind yet. They're still quite happy for you to use them in that way.
Well, yeah. I don't think they mind, because they're just naturally. Like the other day, we were having Sunday dinner, and apropos of nothing, my mum said, "I don't see the point of flavoured condoms." I mean, it's not like my fanny can taste. So, when you're faced with stuff like that...
It's a gold mine.
Yeah, exactly. And she just went on and on. Oh, strawberries! Just carried on and on.
She wasn't cooking with them, was she? She wasn't using them in the dishes.
No, she wasn't, no. But they're just fun. Like, they came to see me when I was in the hospital and, you know, cheered me up. I was there for a week. Have you ever had general anaesthetic?
You know what? Once, many years ago, I had it, yeah, and I don't remember. I didn't enjoy it, but you wake up and...
It's the weirdest thing. I don't know if anyone's had it here, but... Because you can hear the words tumbling out of your mouth, but you can't stop them.
So you were just speaking without any filter whatsoever?
Well, and I had these two specialists that just saved my thumb. And I can hear myself saying it. It's really embarrassing, just kind of... you need to get me out of here. And they were kind of, OK, do we need to get you out of here? Yeah. And I can hear the words coming out, and I don't know why I'm saying them. And I went, if I don't leave soon, nobody will save the princess. Right? And, yeah. I thought, I came to thinking I was a knight, and I genuinely had a moment where I grabbed a nurse and went, get me a horse. And then when I was fine for the rest of my stay, I could hear them like giggling under their breath.
That's sweet. You wanted to rescue the princess.
It's pathetic.
Oh, OK.
But it's great though. It's kind of oddly, I'm quite lucky really. Whenever I spend time, like I was in hospital for a week, just kind of walking around with my thumb up like that, and I met lots of funny people. So that's kind of what I do really. And this guy said one of the funniest. Just when we sort of sat down, he went, "I just see my wife give birth," and I was like, "Oh, what was that like?" was it great? And he went, no. And this is one of the funniest things I've ever heard. He went, no, it was like watching your favourite pub burn down. Like that. And you're like, you know, you feel like, oh my God. So, and it's, that's kind of what I do, really. I just sort of seem to be quite lucky. I go around collecting these amazing
You're
stories.
a magnet for this.
Yeah, I'm a magnet for lunacy. That seems to happen a lot. Like,
but you're doing the West Country accent there, so presumably this was over in the West Country. This was over...
That's the only impression I could do. It was in Coventry.
It was in Coventry? Okay.
Yeah, I should say thanks to the people that... See, I can't even do a thumbs up, look at that.
Wow, they didn't fix it entirely then?
No, it's sort of a bit cack-handed, eh?
Okay. Now, congratulations on Good News, because I love watching Good News. My kids love watching Good News, and they record it always. And you always seem to find... I mean, if you've seen the show, you'll know. Russell comments on stuff that he's seen that's often on the internet or has been on news shows abroad. Yes. And you find some incredible stuff, don't you?
Well, there's just... I like the... As I was saying earlier, I sort of like the odd stories about the world. Like, my favourite one we found the other day, apparently, I don't know if you read this, but margarine makes teenagers aggressive, which is such a great... Step to me, man, I got a belly full of buttily. You know, it's just... So I like things like that. Australia's always very good as well because the way we covered the royal wedding was so different to the way they did. Because we were very kind of, you know, we had a lot of respect for the royal family.
It was a wonderful event. Everyone came together.
It was absolutely brilliant. But there was this lovely moment on Australian TV where, on the news, where this woman thought it'd be a good idea to interview an Australian rules football fan. And she's kind of going, so what do you think they'll get up to on their honeymoon? And this bloke's like, am I allowed to say on telly? So she goes, yeah. She said yes. And the bloke went, anal. Like that. So you're like, bam. And it's like, you would never... Imagine that in England.
Kylie.
But you wouldn't have that on News at 10, would you, Kylie?
No comment, no comment.
This isn't a tradition you want to tell us about, that Australia... it's BBC Three, I think, Thursday nights, is that right?
Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
OK, and then being BBC Three repeated every day.
Absolutely, that's the great thing, yeah.
OK, here we have a clip. This is Russell's Good News. Look at this.
Take a look at this story from Peru. There's a local mayor in Peru. I believe the town is called Huarme. His name is Jose Benitez, and he has decided that the water in his town is making the town gay.
The water is making people gay? You shouldn't laugh. He's right. I've been there. And the water is powerful stuff.
Now, this is good news.
You gotta love him.
He's not even gay. That's the incredible thing.
He's got kids.
He turned up for the shoot. He's like, right, well, we're doing this then. Let's nail it.
We mentioned earlier on you have a large extended family.
Yes.
It's 40 cousins?
I think it's 40, yeah. But I don't know whether they're my cousins or my sort of second cousins, but they all kind of run around the house at Christmas. Yeah, it's great.
And so you get together at Christmas. You actually do hang out together?
Yeah, yeah.
Do they treat you at all differently because you have made a name for yourself on television, because you're well known?
No, not in any way. No, and that's what's great, really. They're just... Like, I've always been the quiet one in my family, so the rest of my family... It's like being in a Pogue song at Christmas. Everything's just kind of going off. There's blokes with beards and there's little kids. My cousin, who is 6, last Christmas I found him in a dog cage, like, in a dog cage, laughing to himself, saying, this is how a dog lives. Like you get. So yeah, it just kind of... They're all pretty strange, really.
And
that's pretty weird, though, eh? Yeah.
Are you a religious family? Do you celebrate Christmas in that way together? I heard that there was an exorcism at your house. Is this
there was, yeah, but that not to do with religion. That's my cousin Tracy that speaks to the spirits, and yeah, it was great. And that was a lovely thing. So we were sort of getting drunk and that, and everything's going off. And then Tracy comes in and went, "Are you not being funny? There's a ghost in your corridor." That's what you're gonna do. So she grabbed my other cousin Carly, and they did an exorcism, and you could hear him in there. It was hilarious. Just kind of go, leave. What's this problem? Why won't he leave? And then at the end of the night, they were so serious. That's what's great about it. At the end of the night, she's kind of, it's all right. He's calm. We put him in the wheelie bin. Like, it's like a really really budget version of Ghostbusters.
Best place for him.
But so I'm sat there as a comic going, but the weird thing is, nobody believes me.
Yeah.
Because it all seems so mad.
It does
seems
sound
so weird. But,
inventive.
yeah, but
it sounds like it would be possibly the greatest reality show we could ever see if they could get a camera.
At Home with the Howards would be...
Yeah, we should try and get that off the ground.
I would love to do that, but, yeah, it'd be quite full on.
Now,
we'd have to go late night.
Often when we have comedians on the show, they're very funny people, but they're not the best-looking people in the world.
Right.
And you're not the best-looking person in the world. But let me finish, please. But you are a good-looking young man. You're much better looking than most comedians, and I know you have a big following of people who find you attractive.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you're
But I'm kind of, you know, presentable as a comedian. But, you know, that's really saying much. Most comics are pretty...
Yeah.
You know.
Relatively unhuman.
Yes.
And you find yourself on lists, don't you? I've seen you on, you know, guys
yeah,
I
but
like.
they're not so I'm always on this thing. They do in Heat magazine called the top 10 people that you fancy that you hate to admit that you fancy. So it's like sort of king of the mingers, essentially. And I've been beaten by last year. I was beaten by Simon Cowell.
Wow.
And I was beaten by.
We should point out this is in the poll. He didn't come up on.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was beaten by the Stig. And the Stig, he doesn't even have a face.
He has
So,
you know, that's a blank canvas. People can project on there.
You must have been on those kind of lists, because you're
What?
kind of... But you're that kind of...
I think I was torso of the week one week.
Have you been in that? My dad would love to be in that. I think that would be my dad's ultimate ambition. He works out quite a lot, so...
Does he? So he's quite buff?
Yeah, he's kind of weirdly buff. He looks a bit like the Green Goblin. You know, he's kind of like Willem Dafoe, sort of like...
Oh, right. But he's not on the roids, is he? He's not kind
We
of...
think he might be on the roids. That's the weird thing. But he kind of like... He's sort of got to that age, he's 55. And he's quite buff, but he thinks he's allowed to wear lycra around the house.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's like a lunging gimp, just kind of like walking around. Mum doesn't go in for that caper.
It's exciting to see you here. I'm looking forward to the Susan again. But a tour as well? You're doing a tour at the moment?
Nope.
What?
No, I know. I'm going to try and do a tour probably next year.
Because you do pretty big venues now, don't you?
Yes, Ace, yeah.
OK, we've got Russell's DVD here. If you're absolutely stuck for a gift this year, you'll be able to find this in petrol stations.
Yeah, you absolutely will.
Up to the very last minute.
Wait till January, you'll get it really cheap.
So, Russell, great to have you here. Russell Howard's Good News is on BBC 3 Thursday nights. If you haven't watched it, do yourself a favour and tune in. It's great fun. Lovely to have you here. Mr. Russell Howard, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you here. Stick around, because coming up right now, as promised earlier, with a very special performance of her 1989 hit. I can't believe it was that long ago. Of course, the song is Never Too Late, and this will be, as you've probably never heard it before, this is the wonderful Kylie Minogue.
Why can't you see that I'm still mad about you? Even though I found out about you, I'll always stay forever true. And in my heart I will forgive you. I've got so much love to give you. It's never too late. We've still got time. It's never too late. You can still be mine. It's never too late to change your mind.
I love that. Kylie Minogue. Thank you, well done. David on piano, thank you, sir. That's from Kylie's new album, The Abbey Road Sessions. That sounds fantastic.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Don't go away, see me after the break. I'll be joined by the force of nature that is Bear Grylls. See you in a couple of minutes. Very much. Welcome back. OK, let's get right on and get my next guest out. I love watching him do what he does best. I can't get enough of him, whether he's juicing elephant dung or feasting on 3-week-old zebra or even doing this.
There's one particular family who was stranded in a life raft, and all this water had gathered in the bottom of it, but they'd been feeding off turtles that was mixed with turtle blood. It had gone fetid. And the only way they managed to stay hydrated was by using that fetid water and giving themselves an enema.
The Robertson family survived 38 days adrift because they were willing to do anything to stay alive. The mother was a nurse and knew that the colon can absorb fluid. By performing an enema, you bypass the gag reflex, rehydrating your body without the risk of vomiting.
I guess all you can do is lie back and think of England.
Really please welcome the fabulous Mr. Bear Grylls, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Great to have you here. Bear Grylls, the survivor.
There's so many nice clips you could have shown, and you picked showing my backside. Kylie and me were getting on so well until that bit.
But it's great to have you. Thank you for joining us, Bear Grylls. I loved seeing you on TV before I met you. I think I appreciate it even more now because I went away with Bear and I was lucky enough to be invited to be on his show where you go on a wild weekend. But a lot of people said to me after I came back from that, they said, oh, he went easy on you. And yet what happened in actual fact was a big chunk of the filming they couldn't use, could they?
Well, things about the wild, often it looks easier than it is, and what you don't always see is humidity or heat or the kind of, you know, often the angle of things. But you did brilliantly, you know, you were right out of your comfort zone. You said at the start, listen, I've never done anything like this before. I'm in your hands. Look after me. And
looking like a natural. But they lost a lot of the filming, didn't they?
Well, we did. It was a shame.
What are you laughing at that? There was a stage when we went near an active volcano and he had me on a lead like I was some kind of a pet. It was just a little bit humiliating.
Well, I think that bit made it in, but basically I think the cameraman dropped the footage in the sea.
Because at the end of the evening, we made beautiful love, and they filmed that as well, didn't they, Bear?
It was all cut out, it was all lost.
What do your kids think? They must think, I mean, because you've got 3 boys, is that right?
3 boys, Jessie, Marmaduke, Huckleberry, 9, 6 and 3, totally wild.
And they must, I mean, having a dad who's, you know, capable in the ways you are, and that must be a great thing for them. Do you pass it on to them? Do they show the same kind of tendency towards roughing it?
Yeah, the thing is, they love it. You know, my eldest the other day, it was classic, because I was training at home, I was doing the press, I was going, you know, 724, 724, and...
yeah, you and me both, yeah, last night. It was a sit-ups 2007, 2008, yeah.
And I was a pull-up 3...
I won out of numbers sometimes, I don't know about you.
But anyway, I said to her, I said, would you fill out the water bottle? I had a water bottle there. I said, there's a hose round the corner. I threw him that. 740.
Yeah, we get the idea.
And anyway, he came back in with a big grin on his face, gave it to me. I said, thanks. Yeah, swigged at it, and it just gone... He's peed in it. He just peed it.
Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised?
I was surprised. I thought, what sort of dirty, rotten trick is that? And exactly right. He just goes, Papa, I've seen you drinking your pee. And it's hard to kind of come back from that.
So, are you going to have a go, though? You've got the 3 boys. Are you going to have any more kids? Would you? Well, I guess you'd like to have a go.
I'd love loads of kids. I mean, somebody said I've got to wear tighter underpants. That's how you get the girl. But, I don't know. It might be an urban myth. I never wear underpants. I always, like... You know, I've always just been a... I do occasionally, you know.
I didn't have that on my list of questions, but...
It was I have started wearing them more now, because it was Dan, our cameraman, who said, Bear, listen... It was actually... We were in the Chinese jungle, and I stepped over something and twisted my nut. And it was like agony. I was literally like this, going, ah! And I couldn't move for about half an hour.
You twisted your testicle?
In some weird way, but then they kind of unravelled and it was OK. Anyway, point being... Dan, the cameraman, he said, well, listen, my wife, my girlfriend works in an old people's home. She said, you can always tell the ones who've never worn underpants, because it's down around the knees.
Wow.
And so from then on, I thought, I don't want to have them around my knees. No. I don't want to twist them again. He said, wear underpants.
Well, then that's a very lovely lesson. But your father, who I'm quite fascinated by, because you mentioned him to me, and he was a Tory MP, wasn't he? Was he a wild guy? Was he an outdoors man? Did he wear underpants? What did you learn from him?
Well, he was a Royal Marine when he was younger, and then he became a politician. He died about 10 years ago now, but he was actually pretty wild, you know. His underpants, he used to wear one and change it every 2 weeks. You know, I remember a pair of his was so threadbare that he was like wearing a sieve, do you know what I mean? And I grew up thinking, that's cool.
He actually wore them out.
He did wear them out, you know. They even had a name. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
What name did he have for his
I'm not
underpants?
sure Dad would be smiling
He
down
would
going,
just-
don't tell me about my underpants.
What was the name of the pants?
They were called his ludders. I don't know what. Anyway, but apparently for the girls, the things you've got to wear them tight, and that's how you get a female,
That's how we got into it. That's how we got into it. But I don't think the girls want to see, if you're in, you know, you're a married man, but when you strip off, you don't want to see the budgie smugglers, really, do you? You don't want to see the tight pants. Do you want to see... Kylie, do you like the tight pants or the loose pants?
You don't need a VPL.
You don't need a VPL. Russell, do you wear underpants?
Yes.
Matt, are you garbed suitably for the occasion?
I'm more saggy gonads.
That's the rock and roll way, though, you see. That's what that is. But your dad, you told me a story, which I'd love you to hear, which is... because he was a big Margaret Thatcher fan, wasn't he? And he passed that on to you when you were a little boy, didn't he?
Well, he didn't pass it on. I didn't have any choice, you know. I remember the first time I took the train on my own somewhere.
How old were you?
It's about probably 7 or 8, you know, and you look back... I mean, now I'd no sooner put my 9-year-old on train on its own than go to the moon. But anyway, for whatever reason, they said, you're going to visit Sam, your buddy, up in Colchester, you know, on the train. Mum will pick you up at the other end. And I remember my dad putting me in this I Love Maggie T-shirt. And I was like sort of the goofy, skinny little kid with a big I Love Maggie getting on a train through East London. It was like sort of suicide,
wow.
do you know? I started martial arts at a young age after that. I thought I've got to learn how to look after
That's a way to
myself.
toughen a boy up, isn't it? Yeah. None of us are getting any younger. How much longer do you think you can... You seem in pretty good shape to me, but could you still keep going for years to come, do you think, or do you see the end in sight?
The thing is, I love what I do, you know. I kind of exercise a lot, I train hard, I do quite a lot of yoga to try and keep bendy and stuff, but yes, on the whole... Thing is, you know, when I have to give it up, I'll give it up. At the moment, I love it.
I'm going to accuse you of making false claims now, Bear.
Okay.
Because I read the other day you were boasting to someone, and it is boasting, I consider it idle boasting. Okay? You were boasting that you'd recently mastered the backflip at 38. Now, I've stood near JLS, and it didn't rub off on me, right? You can't do a backflip.
Well, I wasn't boasting. What happened is that it was a few years ago now. I hit 30. I thought, it's so mad that I don't want to reach the end of my life and I can't do a backflip. If I don't learn it now, I'm never going to learn it. So I got on YouTube. I thought, how to teach yourself the backflip. Had a few sort of misfires, you know, a couple of visits to the chiropractor.
So you just started
I did nail
YouTube.
it, but it wasn't very elegant. I haven't done it for a while, so...
Well, I bought a crash mat in, just in case, because I read this, and I thought, okay, I don't actually want you to break anything. Okay, well, nothing major. Maybe a finger would be fun. But nothing
Do you
big.
really want me to do this?
Yes, we'd love to see you try.
Okay,
so you learned this off YouTube?
I learned this off... I learned this off YouTube. Thing is, you kind of want to stretch a little bit.
Yeah, well,
and you need
stretch
some motivation. Why don't you say, like...
Kylie.
They say, watch out... Say, watch out, Bear, there's a snake.
Okay. Watch out, Bear, there's a snake! Good. I take it all back. I take it all back. You still got it going on. That was great. Wow. That was great. OK, Bear, you know, when I did that show with Bear, afterwards, for weeks, people were talking to me about it and saying, what's Bear like? And I'm delighted to say Bear has a book out, Bear Grylls, A Survival Guide for Life. So this is kind of not necessarily about how to find stuff in the wild. There's some of that in there. But it's also just kind of like a self-help guide and, like, life lessons you've learned, I guess.
Yeah, so there's none of the kind of how to survive in the wild. I've done that as a book, and a lot of people say, you know, we know your stories, but what are the things you've learned? And nobody taught me at school stuff like, you know, how to achieve goals, how to thrive when it's difficult, what sort of character traits matter. And, you know, they taught me lots of Latin and maths. I learned very quickly I wasn't good at Latin and maths, and I wish someone had taught me these lessons. So there's stuff that I've learned from mistakes a lot of the time, but that have helped me achieve stuff in my life.
Well, I've been browsing through it, and it's a great read. I think it's some lovely things you say in it, and all of it makes sense to me. It's good stuff. I love watching you on TV. I love seeing your shows. You've taken a number of celebrities out, genuine celebrities, not B-listers like me. You were out with Will Ferrell and Jake Gyllenhaal. How do you get the big Hollywood guys to go on those trips with you? Because they're genuinely quite dangerous. I mean, there is an element of risk in all of those events, especially, I know, the Jake Gyllenhaal one. That went a bit wrong, didn't it?
Well, it is always difficult taking these guys out. I remember having a phone conversation with the insurance people before we did the Will Ferrell one, and it was like a conference call, and you could hear all these Americans in LA, and they were going, Bear, can you guarantee us 100% that Will be safe? I was thinking, well, do I lie, or do I... So I went, no. I can't guarantee you'll be safe, but I promise I'll do my best to look after them. There's like a pause, you know. But they've all been great, and you were great. And
I was the best, I know. But
Jake had an effort, though, because I took him to Iceland. We had the worst winter storm they'd had there for 10 years. They literally, at Reykjavik Airport, they had a jumbo jet blown sideways. Wow. You know, meanwhile, we were 6,000 foot up a mountain, him on a short rope, both of us been blown like tumbleweed across this glacier. But he loved it, and he really thrived the harder it got. You know, we slept in a snow cave overnight. Lots of people said that you slept in a snow cave with Jake Gyllenhaal from Brokeback Mountain.
Bear, you're gonna teach us all something here this evening. You're gonna teach us how to basically hunt in the wild. Is that right?
I am. I'm going to show you how to hunt for food.
Okay, we're going to call this section of the show, which will be coming up the break, Bear's Bullseye. Okay, Russell, you up for this?
Certainly am.
Even with your bad thumb. Kylie, you fancy a bit of this?
Uh-huh.
Matt, I don't know if you're up for it. You've got to sing straight afterwards.
I'll give it a go.
He's going to give it a go. Okay, after the break, we'll all be playing Bear's Bullseye. But first, join me in saying thank you to Mr. Bear Grylls. Matt, Russell, Bear. Okay. We're still here with Bear Grylls. As you can see, Kylie's joined us, Russell's back, Matt's here, and we're going to do this hunting, shooting, gathering thing. Tell us what you've got in mind. And as you can see, because I'm a Celebrity starts again in a couple of weeks, we borrowed their set before we send it out to Australia. Australia, yeah. For Hampton Deck in Pinewood. So, what are we going to do, Bear?
So we've got bow and arrow, we've got a target over here.
Yeah.
We'll get each of you guys have a shot. Whoever's head it hits, we can lift up a thing and see what's underneath it.
This is our bush tucker trial here. No peeping. We don't know. Some of these have, one or two of these have live things under that we have to eat live. One of them has non-live, and one of them has just berries and nuts. Okay, so it's kind of Russian roulette over here as well. So no peeping.
So
and as you can see,
it's like a double Russian roulette. Well, Kylie, why don't you come and
shoot
shoot
all our
first?
faces on here, and as you can see, it's perfectly fair. Kylie, you have to get the head, okay?
I've never even held one of these things.
Hold on, that's a total stitch-up. Look at the size of your head.
No, this is actual size. My head is smaller than everyone else's.
There's been some production.
Well,
tweaking
because you're very pleased with yourself.
Okay, here we go.
742, yeah.
Okay, so John is going to give it a spin.
What do
you
I
want
do?
a nice straight left arm.
You pull it back, hold it tight, close your eyes.
This is a practice.
And I'm
Okay,
aiming for
and you want
anyone
to
but
twist
myself.
a little bit like that.
Jesus.
Okay, that's enough, that's enough.
Okay.
Let's not have a disaster.
Not yet, Kylie, not yet.
Spin, go, shoot. Yes!
That was a rehearsal. That was a rehearsal. That was a rehearsal. That was a rehearsal. You said that was a rehearsal.
Brilliant shooting.
He said that was a rehearsal.
It's what's called what goes around comes around. So you can pick a platter.
Okay.
Be nice.
Okay. Kylie, I will let you choose.
Okay, just when you do it, just...
Which one do you want to choose from, Kylie? You can choose any of these, and I have to eat what's within it. And if it's one of the living things, I want you to give me some tips, because I'm squeamish.
What about, I don't know, I don't...
I wouldn't go for that one if I were you.
Off the rank?
Let's have a look.
Shall
Let's
I
have a look.
unveil it?
You like this one? Okay. Okay, I love it. This is such come up and...
These are alive. You, Kylie.
Okay.
Get that ready.
So listen, so what you want to do, you want to grab it? You want to take his head off?
No, what I want to do is go home, is what I do.
Okay, so just pinch him, like... Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll help you. I'll do the nasty bit.
I don't even want to look at it.
Okay, so I'm going to take the head
What
off.
the? No!
Take the head off.
Oh, you horrible bugger.
Okay.
What the hell?
We'll take the legs off. Because they get stuck in your throat.
I'm making noise. What I don't know. I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
I love it. Brilliant.
Do you know what's beautiful about that? Not only was your face amazing, it was the tap dance as well.
It was disgusting. It was still moving. And something came out of his neck.
Oh, there, Jonathan, it's okay.
We'll make it better.
It's not better yet.
Right, come on then.
Let's do it.
Oh, these guys are getting away.
Well, left or right-handed?
Right.
Right, okay, so there you go. This is what we're aiming
No,
for.
Russell, stay out of the
Because
green.
wait till you see
stay
what
out of
the
the green
other-
and into the red. You get nothing in this game for 2 in the bag, all right? Or for 2 in my head. Right.
2 in my head.
Right, you ready? I'm going to spin it. Are you all right with that wonky eye of yours? When I want to go, you know? Use the good one.
I'm just taking a little bit so rest on there.
Yeah.
You ready, Russell?
Go on.
Quick!
Why is this? What's wrong with you? I've been nice to you.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
What are
Oh, you
these?
can smell them there.
Ooh.
Well, they're maggots, but they are dead. So let's have a look.
Oh,
Well, let's give everybody some of these because he's done well, eh? He's done well. Have one of those.
Okay, I'm going to eat some of these.
Okay, here we
they're
go.
still moving, they're not.
Do you just swallow?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
They're not bad.
I must warn you, they taste nice to start with, but then about a minute in, you get a very bad aftertaste.
They're not
That's what we
bad.
all do.
Would you like some?
Where's that beer?
All right, let's do one more. Matt, you haven't done it yet. Matt's turn up. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
What's the vibe
Want a sip of water or beer? Are you ready?
Okay, watch out.
Yes!
Nice job.
It's amazing.
Do I get to 2?
We'll do a quick sortie of them all. Take that off. You ready?
Oh, you're going to eat
Take
that
that
little
off.
thing? He's going to eat you with his legs
Here
on
we go.
it. Have a...
Oh.
Wow.
That was like an American at a buffet.
Done.
Done.
Jonathan, it looks like you're up next, my friend.
Right, come on then. Good shot.
Okay, this is a moment of truth. Right, here we go.
Okay, Kylie,
Yeah.
let's hear what's under this one for Kylie. Why, it's blueberries and raspberries.
Thank you. Of course I have one. They're not just guys.
But we put some monkey jizz in the middle of the blueberries. Matt's going to go and get ready to play, so let's hear it for Matt, ladies and gentlemen, when he goes and gets ready with music over there. Russell Howard, Kylie Minogue, Bear Grylls. Wow, what a fun game. Thank you, that was great. And well done on eating the thing. Well done, Bear. Thanks to all my guests. Now, tune in next week when I'll be joined by Ollie Murs, Melissa George, the star of Hunter will be here, comedian Frankie Boyle will be on the couch, and Calvin Harris and Tiny Temper will be performing live. But now, officially, the best band on the entire planet with their fantastic track madness. It is Muse.
I can't get these memories out of my mind. Some kind of madness it started to evolve. Yeah. I tried so hard to let you go, but some kind of madness is swallowing me whole. Yeah, and I finally realized what you mean. Ooh. And now I need to know, is this real love, or is it just madness keeping us afloat? Yeah. When I look back at all the crazy fights we had, it's like some kind of madness was taking control. Yeah, I finally realized why you need you.
Now that is a good band. There's a reunion with a difference tomorrow night, and the McFly Boys make one lady very, very happy indeed. We may need our tissues too. It's more surprise, surprise at 7.